Colombia didn't disappoint. We said that this tilt was going to be a slight advantage at Barranquilla, George. But this quartet, right? The orchestration, the choreograph, the individual movement and brilliance, the hydraulics of Baca, the passing of James was spectacular. This is, as Ray Hudson said, one of the best performances that we've seen. Not just 45 minutes, 90 minutes of the team defensively, attacking-wise. It was absolutely brilliant.
And, you know, a player that is going to get overlooked a little bit, but he scored the game winner last week, setting up this one, is Cardona. He has been fantastic for Colombia. He's an important playmaker, takes a little bit of pressure off of James, and that's important because James, as good as he is, I don't know if he has the will to carry the team by himself. He needs help. And with Cardona in the lineup and playmaking, he set up Perez for a great goal.
You see Sebastian Perez, you said you might want to call him Sebastian Ibrahimovic or Zlatan Perez, whatever you want. But watch this spacing. This time they get it right. Lucid, a little freeze, Cuadrado with that patience and that quality at the end to locate Baca, and that's what was missing in the first half. They could have tied if Ecuador had scored, but they were able to come through. The quality, Peckerman, give him credit, and then you see Arroyo right here with a great little standard situation, free kick with impeccable placement in the upper corner.
And then also give Peckerman credit for not calling in Falcao, not kind of caving into maybe public pressure and saying, hey, Baca is the best Colombian striker right now. We have to put him in the lineup, and it's worked. He's been fantastic.
Absolutely, George. And we talked about this integration with the top quality players in world football. And you're seeing Sebastian Perez, Athletic Nacional, who's in there. You see Daniel Torres, who plays with Medellin. And these are young players that have only played a few times in a major game, but they came through in a position where you got to keep the pulse and the balance and the flow of the game. This is the best I've seen Colombia play maybe in 2 years.
Is this the team moving forward then for Jose Peckerman? Is he found the right formation?
Well, I think we might see different lineups as far as when they're playing away. Difficult opponents when they're playing away. But to play home in Barranquilla, those are two players that play in the national tournament. And as JP said last night, Juan Pablo Angel, he talked about the ability to play in these conditions. Many of these players are playing PSV Eindhoven, they're playing in Chelsea, they're playing in Juventus, Real Madrid. They're coming back from Europe, and it's difficult for them to accustom, to break into playing in that kind of heat, as we saw in the first game, that they played the attrition of that heat in Barranquilla. But I think you will see more of that integration going forward.
Okay, let's take a closer look at these goals with our Bean Optics technology, including the first goal. From the defensive perspective here, what are you seeing?
Well, I think you're seeing the movement off the ball right there, just to open that little space. But even more so, James, the ability to play tight into the feet. We don't see this enough in football, where look at the tempo and the pass that he plays into Baca. It's always too slow. This one is hard, and the mobility, George. It reminds me of Marco van Basten.
Yes.
It really reminds me of. And it's interesting that he's playing at Milan. So great to see Baca come good.
Yeah, you saw Baca use his body there to shield the defender and then get a goal. And then James. This one, when I was watching it upstairs with some of my Colombian co-workers, they were like, pass it to Cuadrado, pass it to Cuadrado.
But that's important
right there.
That's important because Los Cafeteros there, you'll see at the end of the game, they're in a very similar situation, but that lucid, calm, and that patience they have. But watch this right here, the second goal. Little pause, chops right here over his body, puts him in the popcorn machine, feints, cuts, and there. Impeccable time. I mean, this is like 1 out of 10 that a striker can get this. We've seen few strikers in the world that can time this. He's not even a striker, Sebastian Perez. Amazing, agile goal.
Yeah, it's a fantastic effort there. And Cardona, his ability to get into space and create was important. And then this one right here, this is the real beautiful football, that triangulation right there. This is what James can do. This is what sometimes frustrates Real Madrid fans, is that he just doesn't make that right connection, and Cuadrado's touch is brilliant.
There's the calm, George. A little bit more lucid, splits the ball right there, and Cuadrado showing his class. Trio de talento. And we say the geometric flow in the attack, where you have 3, 4, 5 players connected with the two, Sebastian Perez and Torres, that were holding and anchoring, and the defense, Oscar Murillo, who plays for Pachuca, was exceptional today.
Yeah, 6 important points in this international break for Colombia as they make great progress as they go from 7th to joint 2nd in the standings. So a positive couple games for them, George.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, Chris, you mentioned some of the domestic players coming to Colombia. Remember, Atlético Nacional, if you follow South American football, is probably the best club team in South America right now. So to integrate those players on a home game in Barranquilla was important, and I think that gave them a little bit extra energy, extra spirit for that game.
Absolutely, something that they needed to discover after a disappointing start to qualifying. Now, talk about disappointing continuation of qualifying. U.S. with their loss to Guatemala last week, and now hosting Guatemala today with the hopes of all 3 points. Let's send it out to Julian Gonzalez, who is reporting from Columbus.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we're outside of Monterrey Stadium, the site of tonight's match between the United States and Guatemala. I'll tell you right now, the